Warning, the Dub Talk podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please use caution in case we discuss a series that you haven't finished. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and may not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Dub Talk, where a group of nerds get together to talk about the latest and greatest in anime dubs, or at least that would usually be the case. But this time we're going back in time slightly for a classic episode. When I say back in time, I mean to the good old year of 2012.
Oh my god!
You know, I was
It's
playing
the
2020.
End of the world till it wasn't.
And I feel fine.
I don't. My tummy hurts.
And I'm sick, so...
You know, I played 20 questions with some people guessing what show I was watching, and I said I was watching a 10-year-old show that had fun uses of corpses. Do you want to know that somebody guessed Fruits Basket on me?
The internet is a fun
It
place.
took them 40 minutes to figure out it was this show.
So the good old year of 2012, say?
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama.
So if you couldn't tell, I'm Jet, and if you couldn't tell by the voices gathered around me, it's a Team Grimgar reunion for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah. So I believe the way this is going to work is tonight you are the officer and we are your how's it work? Enforcer? You're the enforcer and the three of us are the hunting dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight we're engaging in pet play with Jet as the master.
Oh my god.
Yes, I guess that's going to be the turn. So like I said before.
Alright, Andrew, bend it, spread, and take in a breath. I've got the plug sale ready to go.
Alright,
When's it gonna be someone else's turn?
Alright,
Alright, which one of you other fuckers is into hand holding?
Yep, this.
Oh my god, we're not even 3 minutes in. Okay.
Alright, so like I said before, I'm Jen, and I'm joined tonight by Andrew.
Hi. How's it going, everybody? I've sunk into levels that have never been sunk before.
Megan.
I went to the Smith & Wesson gun safety school, and all I learned how to do was kill.
And Patrick.
I'm tired and grizzled. Things aren't the way they used to be.
Yep, and tonight...
Remember the 90s?
Yes.
Kids these days.
Those were the times.
You think the god of the isekai world we sent us back, not because we had saved the world, but because they were tired of the bullshit that we started?
Probably.
Yep. And tonight we're here to talk about a little classic from the year 2012. So a classic that kind of came and went. Only ever came and went with one season. Just a little show called Psychopaths. Just really, a little nice throwback.
So, are we going... There are two ways we could play the discussion tonight. Are we calling it a one and done, or are we acknowledging that there is more?
You see, I set the Dominator to read the Psychopaths of the other season, and they were disintegrated with one shot.
We have the one season, and we have all those weird fanfics that Ubutaka wrote. We don't talk about those.
But for the sake of tonight's discussion, this is the first and the original and the only, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who you ask, there might be like a single movie, but otherwise it's just the one season.
So yeah, this has been so. I know when it comes to classics episodes, we usually discuss a bit of our history with this, and I remember Psycho-Pass was at a time where I actually watched it where it was. I wouldn't say I watched it right as it came out, but it probably wasn't that old when I watched it. At least the dub was probably maybe like a year or two, and by the time I got into it, was actually kind of around the time they started that whole simuldub thing. This season was before they did the whole simuldub initiative, and then the fanfic that is season 2 was one of the first actual beta tests for the Funimation simuldub.
Andrew,
program.
I think you're a loose cannon in that you can't make the right determination if there are more seasons of Psycho-Pass. I don't care that you have the experience. I, the new person, believe in the system writing of Ubataka.
Yeah. My experience with the show, I actually did watch the show while it aired because I will miss here, I am probably the most familiar with this show's character designer. That being one Akira Amano, who has done a lot of things, but for shonen people, they probably know her as the author behind Katekyo Hitman Reborn, or just Reborn if you're a Westerner.
I'm starting to realize that that woman has an incredible skill for drawing highly detailed and attractive people.
Indeed.
Like, I've seen, like, some of the other things she is designed for. Like, I know they're plucky shonen lads, but, like, they're handsome boys in Reborn. But, like, a couple of people in Psycho-Pass and some of the other things she's done, it's like, yeah, no, that will get some fires in the loins depending on who you're into or what you're about. But yes, you and I have for sure seen Psycho-Pass.
Patrick, your
before.
experience?
I watched the whole thing in simulcast. And then, like, I bought the really good limited edition set and watched, like, 5 episodes of the dub before the whole storage unit thing happened, and never got back to it until now.
Oh, okay. You actually haven't seen the majority of the dub
Right.
till now. I didn't. Okay, that's interesting.
But I did watch the whole first season.
Yeah, good to know you have the nice set. I also have the really nice set.
No, I don't have it anymore. It was in the storage unit when it got broken into.
That would... Ooh, okay, that would do it, yeah. I mostly was watching off of Steph's standard releases, which watching old Funimation Blu-ray releases is fun, because you get to see trailers of, like, time capsules of the time, because this had trailers for, like, The Blood, The Last Sea movie, Steins Gate Part 2, and, like... I feel like there's one other that I'm forgetting about. Oh, the Eureka 7 movie. No, not that one. The one before those.
The ones before Daisato decided he hated all of us.
Wow.
It was like what? The first AU? Because it seems like there's at least a couple of them now.
Some...
Anyways, I don't know Eureka 7. That's a whole other beast that none of us have the time nor capacity to deal with right now.
So here's my experience with Psycho-Pass. It was years and years of people going, Megan, I'm surprised you've never watched this show. This seems like something you would watch. So I agreed to watch the show, not because of who wrote it, not because of the story, but because these fuckers wanted to determine which dude or woman I wanted to bone the hardest.
We couldn't deny it was at least a contributing factor.
It was 85% of the factor.
We did it for science. We did it for science.
So, just before we get into that, gentlemen, please propose the character that you all think I would find the most attractive. Not who I think would be the best character, but the most attractive character.
I went into this betting pool thinking it was either going to be Nobuchika Ginoza or Yayoi Kunizuka.
So that's Andrew.
Yeah, those are also my two bets.
Patrick?
I'm gonna be the wild card here. I'm gonna say Masaoka.
Okay.
Anyway, Jet, please host and get us started before we go up more off-rail and get sent back to the isekai land. I can't go back to prison.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen Takamatsu before, going by the description from Anime Planet, I would have gone for the one for A&N, but it's actually, like, pretty bad.
Yeah, sometimes you either just do the back of the box or you find somewhere else.
In the future, a system called Symbol presides over the country and provides order to every facet of life. It dictates which job field citizens can go to based on aptitude tests. It can even reach each citizen's mental state and predict which ones are likely to commit crimes in the future. For answering exams, Akane Tsunemori is beginning her career as an inspector. A specialized police officer who works to apprehend these latent criminals and stop crimes before they happen. But not all that get caught are eliminated or jailed. Some join the police force as enforcers to provide insight into criminal minds. And Akane is warned not to get too close to them as they're considered little more than hunting dogs. Though skeptical of this advice and Symbol's judgment, Akane is determined to work together with her fellow enforcers to protect the peace of her city and its inhabitants. And, yeah.
Somewhere out there, Tom Cruise and the Church of Scientology are wondering, can they pull a copyright on Japan?
Basically this is just Urobuchi just, like, looking over at Minority Report and being like, you know what? Let me take a crack at that.
So, the thing that is also worth noting is at the time of the original season of Psychopaths, this was when the name Gen Urobuchi was fucking hot. Red hot. This was, like, I think even, like, just after Fate Zero, the anime had come out, but, like, this was probably, like, around the time as he was starting to get big, maybe before he really...
had he done Madoka he had done Madoka.
He had done Madoka the year before.
The year after Madoka. So, yeah, his name was really big at this point.
Hi. Sorry, Shinya is brushing against my legs.
But yeah, this is an Urobuchi show, and interestingly, it's before that time. It's in that time where Urobuchi's name actually did mean something, and not just like, Urobuchi like scribbled something on a napkin and someone else wrote it.
I literally pulled up his Wikipedia page, and I see him listed for animation concept for Ruby Ice Queendom.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, what does that mean? I don't think that means anything.
That means please let me go back to my puppets.
Yeah, I know. He just
yes.
I know he wrote something on a napkin, gave it to them, and just went back to his puppets.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to revisit for a couple of reasons that have aged well, and a couple of reasons that have not.
And a couple of reasons that are fucking hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. It is a show that goes in a lot of directions, and it is quite wild. But of course, we are here to talk about the dub. And of course, you can't talk about the dub without talking about the folks behind the booth, the ADR staff. So we're going to start off by talking about the director for the dub and the scriptwriter. So on voice direction, we have Zach Bolton. And on the scripts, our head writer is Jared Hedges, and assisting him is Alex Munez, Blair Rowan, and Joel Bergen. Jared Hedges has written for such shows as Fullmetal Alchemist, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Mitsuko and Hachin. Alex Munez has written for such shows as Garo Crimson Moon, Darling in the Franks, My First Girlfriend, and My First Girlfriend is a Gal. Blair Rowan has written for such shows as Ari and the Scarlet Ammo, Evangelion 2.0 Yukonan Advance, and Blood Blockade Battlefront. Joel Bergen has written for such shows as Eld Alive, Samurai 7 and Dragon Ball, and Zach Bolton has directed for such shows as A Certain Magical Index, Space Sandy, Future Diary, and probably most relevant to this, Darker Than Black.
Oh wow, yeah.
Chinese electric Batman.
Yeah, that is literally the one thing everyone knows about that show.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely an interesting one to revisit, especially for me in particular, because because I was following the dub scene even around this time, and back then I was actually not a particularly big fan of Zach Bolton, oddly enough. Mostly because I had seen the dub for Future Diary, and I was not particularly happy with how that one turned out. So,
I mean, there's not a lot in Future Diary to make you happy, though.
Yeah, this is true. Obviously, my tastes were very different back then. So,
it was back then. I think you had a more fondness for the show than you do now, and I think that did sour your expectations of that.
Yeah, pretty much. So I wasn't quite sure what to expect coming into this one, but but at the time I enjoyed it more than I thought it would, and coming back to it a decade later, still pretty solid. Direction here more or less fits the tone of the show really well. Script is solid, good balance between being pretty faithful and not being afraid to punch things up every now and then, which is about what you would expect for a Funimation script from around this time period.
I get the impression that the flavored text for this show was very dense, and it felt like one of those things where this did not feel like the type of environment that you could really like punch up or really play too much with a lot of the dialogue, but because it's so rich and dense with the fact that all of it is lore, world building, and just like very casual like character building stuff.
And political commentary.
Which... This is a Psychopath episode. This is a Team Grimgar episode. We're gonna go for it. Just bear that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the script itself is at least solid and pretty... does a really good job. It doesn't seem like it's too stiff or that it's too marred by the denseness of the world and setting. I actually think there's some pretty interesting and ambitious lines. But I will also say the thing that's interesting to me about this dub is that I feel like there's a lot of people in this dub. Some of them were definitely more experienced at the time, but there's definitely a lot of actors who I felt like were either lesser known or these were some of their first major roles in a dub that I could recall. And some interesting risks as far as casting in that regard. I think some of them were definitely a little rockier at the start than others, but I definitely say by the end of this, a lot of the people I am alluding to absolutely found their footing and kind of rocked it by the end of the show, for sure.
Honestly, coming back around to this felt kind of, in a weird way, melancholy. Because a lot of the direction and script writing is really good, but you don't really get Dallas dubs like these anymore. It doesn't feel like, where it's just... This was before the era of the neckbeard. And that was kind of, in my opinion, one of the things that started to turn the script writing of Funimation and later Crunchyroll into, I don't want to say bad, but
definitely playing it a little more cautious.
A little more leashed.
Okay. I would also say this is also the era prior to the simuldub in and of itself. So this wasn't a guess the original show as it's going along. They had every context. They had all the ability to allude to things that were coming or going to happen that is a detractor that some original series and dubs don't always get that luxury.
And there's a consistency to it that you really kind of don't notice when you listen to, like, newer Dallas area dubs. You don't really notice it's missing until you go back to some of the older ones. Like, it's really impressive, the consistency of the Psycho-Pass dub, when you consider that there are 4 scriptwriters. But at the same time, there is a single...
It all feels like it has the same voice.
Single credited director.
You could almost say that it is a consensus of minds coming together.
You
to
stop
make
that.
One unified.
You stop that.
Hive mind.
Funny. That's not even where I was going to go. I was going to allude to something much more serious. I was going to say this is why it's important to have writers' rooms.
Ooh.
Okay. There we go.
Ooh. Ooh, Jet, I love it when you're such a...
I love it.
Oh, I love it when you're such a sassy bitch. We've taught you so wrong, and you sound so right.
Now, see, we taught Jet wrong. As a joke.
That's a lot of nuts. Do you want... That's a lot of nuts. Do you want fries? That'll be $2. No, I agree that there should be a writer's room back, but I'm also not going to 100% blame a company for taking a safe option when there are people who are willing to dox people because they're mad about something they don't understand.
I get that.
Yeah, Discord's right. Certainly got way worse, and I do not blame people for being cautious.
And even then, as the person who hasn't seen the show before at all, like, I'll agree 100% that the dialogue writing in this is really well, because I'm going to be 100% frank with you. A lot of people like to hype up Psycho-Pass as this very, like, serious look at, like, technology and stuff, and I'll admit that I laughed at things I shouldn't have fucking laughed at in this show.
I get the impression that if this was just hyper serious...
Oh, it would have...
I don't think it would have worked.
Failed as a show. I'll be real with you. Shinya, you fucking goblin! Don't you dare touch my Blu-rays, you little asshole. No, but, like, I think the thing that really works for the writing is, like you guys said, like, the fact that there are 4 people who worked on this that clearly understood what they were working with. And I do 100% agree that writers' rooms should at least be brought back in some capacity. Hi. If you let me pick you up, I'll put you outside, but you're not going to do that because you're being a little dick. I'm sorry. She's toddlers. Except for she's furry and has 4 legs.
They're babies. They're babies. They're always babies.
Yeah.
Always will be.
This baby
This
baby also needs to accept that she has a stepfather. And stop ignoring him when he comes over. That's right, I'm on the phone with your dad, Shinya. Yeah, that's right. Don't you dare. Hey. Shinya Piragi, you don't do that. I'm gonna use your legal fucking name.
Mine's just sleeping on the couch next to me as I'm recording this. He's a good
Yeah,
lad.
well, your son is a good boy. I own a goblin. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Where was I? Yeah, yes, pro writer's room. I really did like the writing of this. But for me, the thing that really stood out is actually a lot of the acting work in this show. In that, for as absurd as some situations are that are going on in this felt like a livable world. Like, the voices didn't sound, like, over the top, or, like, I don't know, like, obviously...
Anime?
Not that. It's... This movie, if you've seen this show and you are, like, somehow were, like, not an actual physical baby in the mid-2000s, you would have probably seen Minority Report, which is a Tom Cruise movie. Also a reminder, fuck Tom Cruise. Always and forever. But you know how bad science fiction action movies are with the dialogue, where it feels like it's over the top and trying too hard to be super edgy and cool?
Yeah.
You either gotta get the one-liner, or you gotta make it sound like, oh, I am the Punisher, hear me roar.
I don't know how to feel about this. It's like you get like an Oscar level like worthy performance, or you get, can a robot write a symphony? Can you?
Oh, you really brought in iRobot into this one, huh? I can respect that.
I know that's unrelated to this whole conversation, but just that makes me think of the difference between like David Cage and Yoko Taro. God, it's basically David Cage, can a robot learn to be a human? Yoko Taro, can a human? What? Can a human learn to be a human? David Cage, I don't get it.
Also, Yoko Taro, what if I gave her a fat ass?
Respect.
Look.
Shout out to Yoko. Shout out to that one bar that's got Yoko Taro's mask since AX.
God.
I wonder how...
I hope that's like a legend now.
I wonder how Yoko Taro's mask is doing in LA. I hope he's on the pickup lines.
I hope it's still in the bar and they just made a shrine around it.
What's that? Oh, that's just Yoko Taro's mask. What? That's just Yoko Taro's mask. He lives here now. But, like... But you know what I mean. It's like the difference between, I don't know, having... I'm trying to think of a good Oscar-winning actor. And not somebody who's, like, known for being over the top. Shit.
It's like the difference between The Matrix or Johnny Mnemonic and The Lawnmower Man.
Those are all referenced in this show.
I know it's not necessarily Oscar, but my brain comes back to Wesley Snipes in Blade.
I was gonna say, it's the difference between an Oscar-winning actor or having all your sci-fi screamed out by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, God.
His psychopath levels just Jean-Claude Van Damme psychopaths. But, like, I really liked a lot of I really liked a lot of the acting in this. Definitely would say that in terms of the age-old sexy man voicing, I think there are some pretty sexy voices for the adult version of Light vs. L. Let's be real. L in Light is like sparkling wine. Kagami and Makishima is like drinking box wine. Fine wine is being a Will Hannibal shipper.
Yeah. Okay, I was like, where's the third one? Yep.
Anyway, I'm done.
Well played. Anyways, alright. Zach and his crew did a damn good
Bring
job.
back writers' rooms, Crunchyroll.
In general, writers' rooms are good. Just in general, that's a thing Hollywood to just be doing.
You know, writers' rooms instead of the mini rooms. Dun dun dun.
WGA.
By the way, it's no longer summer, but boy, this labor summer's been fucking hot.
We've gone from hot labor summer to pumpkin spice labor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's good.
Ooh, it's gonna smell good in the morning.
Mr. Iger, open up your doors or we're going to play spooky, scary skeletons on repeat until you come out and agree to a deal.
This is a promise and a threat.
As sung by Ron Perlman.
God bless him.
Alright, so I guess with that, we're going to start moving on to characters.
So if Ron Perlman played anybody in this in a live-action Psychopath, who would it be and why is it Masaoka?
Oh, you're not
Damn
wrong.
it! Fuck, that's a good choice.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
I was
making the bit in my head, and I was like, oh no, shit, I actually want Ron Perlman as
no,
Dr.
Ron
Ocean.
Perlman as the lesbian schoolgirl.
Oh, okay.
No, that should be Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
I guess that's as good as segues.
Yeah, so we're going to go to our first cast of characters. So first up, we're going to be talking about some...
Didn't you miss this? Didn't you all fucking miss this?
Truly. So we're going to be talking about some of the villains of the week for the first half of the show, alongside one of alongside a character who is essentially just Makajima's right-hand man.
They are basically they're his disciples, or the little broken kids that he decided to give a knife to and says, have fun, sport.
Pretty much. So we have Masatake Mito, Rigako Oreo, Hirohisa Sengui, and man, the way they pronounce this in the dub is just...
I think it's supposed to be Joe Gusan, but the way they say it in the dub, it almost sounds French, like Che Gusan. Yep. Which I guess is fitting considering who plays him, but we'll get to that. So
Mito is the culprit of the case and episodes. I believe it's like 4 and 5.
Let's call him what he really is: the VTuber killer.
Basically, his whole thing is like going around like stealing people's online avatars and impersonating them better than they can, because that's what real fans do. It's totally not a relevant thing in Our Lord 2023.
Yeah, I gotta say, of all the things I had forgotten about in the original Psychopaths, this was something I had forgotten about, and it has somehow gotten more depressingly relevant.
So this is what happens when your Oshi graduates.
Oh, fucking A.
Continuing, Rikako Oreo is a high school artist who gets involved with Makashiva and her style of art is just going around making her classmates into sculptures, as you do.
Salvador Daliing her classmates in more way than one.
Yeah, that whole arc is a lot.
Yeah, and then you have Toyohisa Sengui, who is basically he's just a hunter from like the world's, but he's just a hunter from the most.
He's a Doctor Who villain.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's a Doctor Who villain who also had a also had a bone to pick.
Yeah, I know. He's just looked at hunting the most dangerous games. That's me.
And you know what? Yeah, they are all interesting and provide different things to the series,
including the world's most eccentric bong.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, and then,
okay. So who plays these characters?
One last one. And then, as we mentioned before, Taking is basically just Makashima's right-hand man. He's also a professional hacker. So he helps out with a lot of the technical stuff.
Hacker Man, but with blood.
Yeah, so going into who plays these characters, playing Mito, we have Eric Vale. Playing Rikako, we have Rita Palencia. For Sengui, we have Charlie Campbell. And for Jake-san, we have David Wald. Eric Vale has played his characters as Phoenix Wright and Ace Attorney, Arasaka Crowley in The Gray Man, and Tsubuki in Ghost of the Shall Rise. Rita Palencia is Eve in Black Cat, Yunagasa in The Future Diary, and Tony Chopper in One Piece, # make Chopper Muppet.
We really do need a Chopper Muppet, don't we?
Charlie Campbell has played his characters as Lance in Appleseed 13, and Kihara in a certain scientific Railgun T, and Gran Torino in My Hero Academia. And lastly, David Wald has voiced his characters as Gajin Red Fox in Fairy Tail, Aswad in Vinland Saga, and Kaito Diamond and 5 Brain Puzzle Gods, just because I thought that one was funny. Someone really thought, let's make David Wald a fucking show protagonist.
You know
what? I'm not mad.
Why not? Yeah, it's really hard to be mad about that one. I'm trying to figure out where... Because I want to just take the second to gush about David Wald, but I should at least be fair and say... Eric Vale shows up.
Yeah.
He shows up. He shows up. I really wanted to hear just because I thought, like, the whole, like, discussion about, like, the whole, like, online avatar thing was just kind of something I found personally interesting.
Oh, I think that's like fascinating, actually. Yeah. I actually kind of love how psychotic but interesting that is, where it's like...
You guys...
You know what this is? This is what happened to Kizuna AI, because I don't know a lot about VTubers, but I know a lot of people who are really about VTubers, and they have told me that Kizuna AI is effectively a sellout fucking hack, because it's basically, it has been a different person from the original for a while now, and everybody knows and kind of turned on them because of that very reason. So the idea that the person playing them stops acting like what people perceive the character to be like is fascinating and genuine. Like, because people, like, forget that there is a real person behind the character, and a lot of, like, VTuber stuff kind of operates under the whole wrestling persona thing. But if somebody's like, I can do that better than you can, I can be the better Mori Calliope, and then just goes crazy, who the fuck knows what happens?
Can you...
And...
It's the cat.
Oh, cat's still doing his thing. But no, I actually do find that whole story surprisingly poignant and more depressingly relevant. Like, I feel like Psycho-Pass and Urobuchi is an interesting case study, because there's a lot of things that have either aged poorly or aged depressingly well. Yeah. And there's a couple of things we're going to talk about. I feel like the whole VTuber thing and the idea of somebody turning on you if you stop being like what the public at large perceives you to be like is kind of relevant, and yeah, there are people who do that. But I do think Eric Vale does a very good job at his fucking psycho acid fuck freakout.
Yeah. I love that. Alcohol! What's this for? Getting through the illusion!
He is basically, his horror nightmare before he dies is effectively the Masaki Yuasa cup in Samurai Champloo, where Mugen is tripping balls.
So I will say this.
It's a bad trip, guys.
Mito's entire role in his story arc is to basically blend into it. But in that arc, I've really got to give props to, I think it was Jamie Markey as Spooky Boogie.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely Jamie.
Yes.
Let's be real. She plays Spooky Boogie like she has opinions on grits.
Do you think Spooky Boogie's a react-tuber?
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hey guys, Spooky Boogie reacting to bad anarchists.
Do you think in the Psycho-Pass world there's anything as bad as, like, somebody's fursona being, like, in defense of child labor?
Oh, there's definitely someone.
Oh, I'm sure.
That is, like, a deep cut that, like, either nobody's going to get, or that's going to, like, target lock on somebody who's going to get that.
Spooky Boogie would ask why 9/11 wasn't in Turning Red.
God.
There we go. We got him.
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Holy shit. It's like, I was thinking about this before we started, and it was like... But I have to save it for when we talk about Makishima personally. But please know that I'm going to drop a reference onto you. The likes that you are not expecting.
Oh, boy.
That sounds like a promise and a threat. But I will say...
Jesus.
Eric Vale...
I'll be right back. I gotta let the fucking goblin out. And get a drink. Keep going.
That's fair. But yeah, no, Eric Vale does a good job.
Eric Vale did good for what he had. I did. I did enjoy his little freak out when he's like questioned on like, oh, like that racist question on the idea of like, oh, well, you know, you're obsessed with all these avatars, but like, what kind of person are you actually? And you know, how does this ends up breaking him? I thought that was definitely interesting, and yeah, that's definitely strikes a certain chord in 2023. But yeah, I liked Arabelle a lot. And then going into Rikako, that is definitely quite a character. But I liked Rita Palente's Rikako. Definitely did a good job of this, giving very kind of ominous vibes.
Okay, yo, so when I said, oh, look, here comes the schoolgirl lesbian show, I was kidding.
There's a lot of very casual lesbianism throughout the entirety
There's a
of
lot of
Psychopaths.
carpet munching. But, like, she freaked me out, man. Like, Brina does such, like, God, I miss letting Brina get to do, like, creepy characters like this. Just because she was, like... There was something so, like, awkward and seductive about her. But also...
Oh, she is completely going at this like she's a sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
But man, is her DeviantArt terrible.
Now, see, what I really liked about it was, and it's something the show actually kind of points out, is... Rikako is the daughter of one of these...
She's basically an art... She's the daughter of an artist who is effectively a... he is a complete, like, psychedelic horror expressionist who just draws grotesque things to get reactions and get a feel for, like, humanity to look deep inside. It's basically like a whole art perspective in and of itself.
Yep.
And,
Tear the form inside out to truly look at what we are on the inside out.
and she worships one of these serial killers who basically murders in exactly the same way she did, where he killed people, plasticized their bodies, and put them on display somewhere. But she doesn't understand why he was doing it.
I kind of love that the fact that, like, what sets her up for failure and why she's effectively thrown away by Makishima is that she is a copycat that doesn't understand why the works, as fucked up as they were, had that meaning in the first place. It's mostly just a level of, like, I loved my father, and I love the beauty of the female form, like, turned inside out. And that's all there was.
Yep.
It's basically the equivalent of, going into Berserk and thinking it's all about cool guts and cool gore and edgy revenge fantasy.
Although I will say that while her art perspective leaves much to be desired, I did think there was some interesting commentary during like one conversation where she's having with Makishima, where she's just kind of like talking about the concept of like being in an all-girls school and how a lot of those girls there are just essentially sort of being kind of groomed for like more conservative folks in order to, you know, just send to be passed off as trophy wives. It's just like, man.
It's like one of those things where it's like, God, that bitch is like a crazy psycho, like fucking freak. But she's not completely wrong in that, yeah, it's like, oh, we want like a pure girls' school that's not tainted by the outside world, so that they're ripe for the picking. Yeah, no, that's not untrue. And there's nothing about the world that is set up that's implied that wouldn't actually happen.
Heartbreaking. Worst person you know has a point.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But God, fucking Brina is so good. She's so creepy. She's so intimidating. She's very good at, like, waxing faux intellectual nonsense while she's sleeping with her dead fuck plastic GF.
Am I allowed to call Rikako a femcel?
Yeah.
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 It's apt.
First guy was an incel.
You know...
First dude was an incel, she's a femcel.
I think, congrats, Megan. I think you've broken.
Yay!
I'm
and
okay,
I didn't even have to
actually,
do a sex joke.
See, here's the thing. She doesn't have to work for pussy. Pussy comes to her.
But she does, because she has to seduce them by breaking them to their weakest point. Because, like, remember, the way that she gets the first friend is because she quite literally is like, "Oh, sweetie, I know your stepdaddy molests you."
Huh, okay, okay, alright. Yeah, okay.
Isn't it better if you just died?
Because you will eventually grow old and grotesque and you will lose your beauty. Yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah. Okay, you're selling me back on the femcel Rikako. Also, fucking Brina's so good.
Yeah, I really didn't like Brina's performance. That's definitely the right level of unsettling.
Mm-hmm. I also will, just because we're not going to be talking about her tonight, I will say this. Everything about Rikako Oreo and what she does to several of the schoolgirls in the show is a fantastic motivation for why a character in this show, or in this season, becomes a more prominent figure in future Psychopath stuff. I think this is a fantastic, like, origin story to the character of Mika Shibutsky. I genuinely do think that is a good reason for why a character like this would want to enter Sybil. What they do with her after is a little more questionable.
I say, cue clapping.
That's neither here nor there, but Cherami Lei is good at what she does. And always will be.
Yeah,
yeah, I guess there's the world, Senguji now?
Yep, so speaking of assembling, we have, Tony Kemple as Senguji, who is, who, as we said before, basically just cosplaying the sponsoring the most dangerous game, and he's a cyborg hunter man.
I need y'all to, stay with me on this one. Charlie Campbell sounds like he is playing somebody who has been Botoxed to hell.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Like, he physically sounds like he is playing a person whose lips and cheekbones do not move the proper way they should because they've done so much liposuction and, like, facial reconstruction surgery that it doesn't sound like they can talk normally anymore because it doesn't come out like that. And I think that is exactly what they are trying to go for with the fact that he is a fully cybernetic body.
Yep, he's the dude who's just, like, really, truly convinced he's going to live forever.
Weird comparison here, but, oh shit, what's the name of the actor? Kingpin.
Oh, Jason.
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Vincent D'Onofrio as the cockroach in Men in Black.
Oh, fuck.
You know what? You know what? Yeah,
when he
I can
pulls
see
Edgar's
it.
Skin all the way back, and he's just like, "There, is that better?" That's what it reminds me of.
Yep. Yeah. You know what? You know what? I can see it. That's pretty on the mark. Yeah. Okay.
It's Uncanny Valley, in probably one of the more literal terms of as presented in the show.
It's uncanny. It's also detached in a way that, like, he is no longer human. Insert the book here. But it feels so detached from humanity that the idea of even killing and hunting for sport doesn't even register to him as inhumane. It's just like, you know what?
And the way that he goes around killing people in such a futuristic society and having this futuristic society is so very old school. Dude's literally running around with a fucking 2-barreled shotgun.
Yeah.
2-barreled shotgun and his robot hunting dogs. Which, you know what, is serious and dramatic, but fuck it, robot hunting dogs is still pretty silly.
Oh no. Oh no. I want to talk about, like, the fucking most ridiculous thing this guy does.
Are you talking about the fact
no,
that,
let
like,
me say it.
when...
Throw Megan a bone,
Okay.
Andrew.
Alright.
So when Makishima is like, when Makishima does his, "Oh honey, Daddy is so disappointed in you," call to, like, his underlings, he lets this guy hunt down Rikako like a fucking caged animal, and she gets her leg. Ah, your leg! It's caught in a bear trap! Fighting for your life? Quiet, quiet.
Oh, God.
But she's not. Killing for sport, it's Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport, it's Shogo Makishima. Stab him in his kidneys. Safe at last from Makishima. Oh. No, but so he hunts her down and kills her, and in the next episode, him and Makishima are just having this, like, conversation like two dudes who peaked in high school reading Catcher in the Rye do.
Oh, God.
And he...
That's such a very specific, targeted insult, but a correct one.
And he pulls out this set of, like, very ornate smoking pipes, and he's like, "I fashioned them out of Rikako Oreo's bones!" And I had to stop and just bust out laughing, because it's such this absurd thing to get rid of a body, is, I need something to rip a fat one out of. Her spinal column will make the best bong.
It has the same energy as that guy who is using his son's blood to try and make himself physically age younger.
Or like those the crunchy moms who eat the placenta.
You know what? I should have known that a Psychopaths episode was going to be upsetting in more ways than one, but you know what? That's still on me.
I mean, in the hope that when he's smoking, he just says like, "Ah, yeah, smoking this really does make me feel younger."
That's why it's like it made me think of the guy who like took his son's blood and made him look younger. Or
and
whatever.
then like he's hunting down poor Alexis Tipton, who motherfuckers couldn't even put her in a matching bra and underwear set. Fucking monsters. And just he's like the happiest little old man, and he just gets kind of like destroyed by the Dominator. And that's it. Like, Shogo doesn't even get to say he's disappointed in him. He's just like, "Oh, this guy's fucking dead now. Thanks, Charlie Campbell. Good job."
I think Makishima was kind of like, "Hey, look, this is your chance to run." And then he's like, "You know what? I'm going to see this shit through. I feel like I am taking the world's sickest Viagra right now. This is awesome." And then he's like, "All right, Godspeed to you, man."
And then he gets his back blown out like the old man from Inuyashiki, which, by the way, Crunchyroll, dub it, you cowards.
You really had to go with the phrase "getting his black back blown out."
Yeah, but there was a one other thing with this character I found particularly interesting, where like, there's one bit in one of the early episodes where he's like doing an interview with a reporter, and she's like talking to him about the fact that he has like a cyberized body, and him just kind of hoping that he'll live long enough for like his brain to be fully cyberized. And then, like, when he's questioned, like, why he's okay with having a fully cyberized body, he says something along the lines of, like, oh, well, you know, if you really think about it, like, humans have essentially become cyborgs because we're, like, so dependent on technology now. Like, even just something as simple.
It's basically it's the idea that your computer is pretty much always at the ready, which connects you to the internet of itself. There are people who have pacemakers and artificial, like, organs inside of them, which in itself already makes them kind of cybernetic as it is.
Shut up, Elon Musk.
I mean...
it really, once again, it really is worth for you to know has a good point.
So, like, what kind of shit is he smoking? Because it's not, like, unprocessed from the lab ketamine.
Underage girl.
Imagine the joints you can roll out of her joints.
If you used her to open a beer, would it be cracking it cold? Would it open with the girls?
Oh my god.
Megan Corner.
Oh! Oh, man.
This is horseshit.
Oh. Ooh.
I've been betrayed by my own boyfriend. I almost said I've been betrayed by my own husband.
Psychopath.
But yeah, I really did like Charlie Campbell's performance. He had the rat level just like very unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, in this ensemble, we had David Wald, who, like, well, yeah, I mean, it's David Wald. Is there really anything bad you can say about a performance with him?
There are some actors where it's like, okay, they're not always going to be good for the role. But I feel like David Wald is just kind of, like, perfect at exactly what he needs to give for the role. And sometimes it's just, he's just your friend, like, your friendly, good old, like, dad. Sometimes he's your psychotic, closeted politician who's secretly, like, a freaky alter ego skater homosexual. And sometimes...
I almost forgot who that was for a second.
And sometimes he is just fucking intimidating and scary as shit. Like, this is the guy at your book club that you can tell definitely has some skeletons in his closet. But he has a very compelling screen presence to him. Like, he's very interesting design, and you can definitely tell that, like, Makishima genuinely does respect and admire him, and which in itself makes it interesting, like an interesting counterpart to bounce off of. It really is just like, are there bad David Wald performances? There might be ones that are good compared to great or fantastic. But I'm not sure there's one I would ever describe as a bad or poor performance from one David Wald.
But yeah, I really did like him here. He had the like right level of like menace to it, and also just kind of being a little on the casual side, mostly when he's like around, just kind of talking shop with Makishima when they're like scheming up things.
He also seems like a guy who can talk shit, but also back it up and take the hits too.
I did like the whole bit where he's like talking with, where he's like talking with Makishima about like the nature of the city and how Makishima is kind of remarking about how he thinks it's kind of a parody of all the books he's read, and then Makishima throws some recommendation. The
fact that he is literally like, okay, this society is a parody of books I have read, and it made me think about, you know what? We are in a dystopia, but we are not in an overly dramatized, like, noticeably fucked up dystopia. No, we are in an incredibly stupid and corporate dystopia.
Every day, Rianne Johnson wakes up and sees the Bird app and goes, as a dodgeball hits him in the face.
Like, as soon as I read the shit about the fact that he used Tesla money to build a fucking glass house, and it's like, what the fuck is parody anymore? God, comedy writers are like, fuck me. And it makes me think of, like, there are just some writers who have actively apologized for predicting the future so right. Like, Hideo Kojima is just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so right. I'm not trying to be.
Why everybody so mean to me?
He's fine. He's hanging out with all the cool Hollywood celebrities and digitizing them in a responsible, non-David Cage way.
The one kind of awkward thing I guess I would say, and this is more on the fault of the show, is I don't necessarily know how much I like the idea of one of, like, the major antagonist characters. Like, that is, like, one of the few only foreign characters being Korean, given things.
Yeah.
I get, that is a fair thing. I at least get the impression that in itself did play some parts to being rejected by the society in and of itself. But I can at least say that this season in itself doesn't seem to go too far into it. It's mostly just kind of like a neat little, oh yeah, no, this guy's a foreigner who felt ostracized and then wanted to turn society on its head.
Because one aspect that isn't, like, brought up heavily, but is just something that is kind of interesting about the way society works in its universe. Is that apparently, like, the future in which it takes place in is that, like, Japan has kind of gone back to being, like, very isolationist, so, like, there aren't a whole lot of foreigners in the country now.
So basically they told Matthew Perry to suck a dick.
That's a very specific reference.
Yep.
Is it, though? It's just history of the world and of Japan.
So with that in mind, you can kind of see how this guy would feel very out of place, and that really does come across in David Wall's performance, I feel.
I also love the fact that he's just filming the truth of this and is like, oh man, this shit's gonna go on World Star.
Oh man, this is gonna go over so well on Reddit.
He was so close.
And then the brain machine came and yelled at him.
It really is kind of funny that you can just say that a lot of the antagonists in this are very much Redditors. And then I joked, and then literally in episode 19, there is a form that is literally people scorned and, like, faux intellectuals who are like, hey, if you did try to overturn this society, how would you do it?
Am I the asshole for breaking into the Ministry of Defense and trying to figure out how the civil system works?
I mean, kind of?
Hashtag Brainiac.
Was there anything you wanted to add, Patrick?
No, it's David Walt. David Walt do good.
Alright,
I very much do like that this was a mix of kind of his older voice and his more younger sounding voice, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, with, like, a good kind of mid-range David Walt. But, I thought all four of these actors did a pretty good job for their characters. And I thought all of them kind of had, like, some pretty interesting commentary with, like, what they represented. And with that, we can start moving on into some of our major characters. Going into the members of the WMPSD with our enforcers and inspectors. So we have Nobuchika Ginaza, Tomomi Masaoka, Shusei Kaguri, Jian Kanamori, Yayoi Kunizuka, Yoshikase, and the Dominator, for reasons we're about to get to in a moment. So Kitaza is the other inspector in the Kanno's division, and he kind of has a second post about all the time. He's a very just got a very stern guy.
He doesn't have a stick up his ass. He has a redwood tree.
He's got a lot to prove with not a lot to show for it.
His character arc can be summed up by the third movie in a very influential spy movie trilogy. Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair.
Yeah, it has some very deep-seated daddy issues, which brings us to Masaoka, who's one of the enforcers, and used to be kind of an old beat cop, but when the whole white psychopath system came around, he had a bit of a hard time adjusting to it, and that kind of ended up getting him labeled with a high crime coefficient, and so he got thrown in with the enforcers.
This show very much has a lot of commentary about the fact that, like, the people who get too close to the crime and get too involved are the ones who have to go down a dark path, and in turn, society judges those who do their job too good as a detective to being on the path to becoming a criminal.
Despite the dependence that they all have on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is very much a, we are desperate to you have your labor, but we will dehumanize you in a way that makes you necessary.
Mm-hmm. Continuing, Kagari is another enforcer who basically got flagged by the system when he was actually like a child, and has basically been stuck working as an enforcer ever since. So
yeah, that would kind of mess you up if you're starting as an enforcer as you are a literal teenager.
So he acts very casual, but he's like very clearly bitter about his circumstances.
He's bitter, but he is probably like the closest to being like okay with being a domesticated dog, mostly just because he didn't know what it was like to be on the outside. Most of his life has just always been being the dog reporting to another master.
That's why he dies first.
He dies first, yes.
You do. And then Chion is basically just our resident tech person. Doesn't have quite as much...
And absolute chaotic bisexual.
Oh, absolutely. I really do just appreciate how our character is introduced.
Oh, the fact that she is introduced by the fact that, like, Akane just walks in after her and Yayoi have finished boning, and that's the first time you meet Shion, is you see the shot of the fucking, like, slutty stocking going back on, and then it's like, hey, what up?
Hey, so I'm your tech patrol. And then in the last episode, you just see her smoking on the bed after she and Yayoi have, cleaned each other's carpets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Do I make...
And then there's Yayoi.
Do I make the joke now?
Do it!
So, literally, after... when we were in the group chat... earlier today... Megan was pretty much... Oh, yeah. Yayoi is basically a lesbian, isn't she? And I posted a gift of... keeping my lip zipped, and she DMs me just like, oh god, she dies, doesn't she? And I'm just like,
Ha!
oh no.
Yeah.
You may as well call her Hoover, because she be cleaning carpet.
And then I proceeded to send him the gift of the Mega Maid from fucking Spaceballs.
God, I like that you also had that thought, because, man, when I first watched this show, I could not believe that Yayoi survived. Fucking good on her.
Congrats to Gen
wow.
for not burying his gays.
In fact, they're burying themselves in each other.
Ew.
Yeah. But yeah, Yayoi is another enforcer and a former musician who more or less gets roped into it, kind of similar to Kaguri, where she kind of doesn't really have much say in the matter. And then Kase is the chief of the WPSB, and seems to initially just be kind of a very stern police chief. But she has quite a bit going on there. As we discovered in the second half of the show, she is in fact a cyborg, and specifically she's the
brains of the operation.
Yeah, she is one of the many minds of the civil system.
It's less accurate to say that Chief Kase is an individual, and it is more accurate to say that she is the Geth unit Legion.
Yep, which Wesley brings us to the Dominator, which initially we think is just, some sort of, very helpful Alexa voice. Just, helping Akane to kind of use the Dominator correctly and all that. But we found out that voice isn't just, your Alexa voice. It is, in fact, the voice of the civil system, which...
the literal voice of the hive mind.
Yeah, which, the civil system is essentially a gigantic hive mind. It was specifically a giant hive mind of, former edgelords, which is just amazing.
It is literally a hive mind of fucking freakazoids and sociopaths.
Every day the civil system wakes up and eats a hot bowl of hatred.
Oh my god. So
the civil system is behind the push.
So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Let's go into it.
So I'm gonna get to who plays these characters. For Ginaza, we have Jesse James Grilly. For Asuka, we have Jason Douglas. For Kaguri, we have Scott Freeman. For Kanamura, we have Lydia McKay. For Yayoi, we have Lindsay Seidel. For Kase, we have Linda Leonard. And for the Dominator, we have Stephanie Young. Jesse James has played such characters as Wolfgang Mittermeier in Wednesday of the Galactic Heroes and Orteza, Faft in Blood Blockade Battlefront, and Armin Arlet in Attack on Titan. Jason Douglas has played such characters as Swords in Vinland Saga, Masami Koto in After the Rain, and Beerus in Dragon Ball Super. Scott Freeman has played such characters as Yasop in One Piece, Pixel in Fairy Tail, and Starjun and Toriko. Lydia McKay has played such characters as Madame Brand and Black Butler, Ray Takashima in Damn Wonderland, and, everyone's least controversial character, Ultir in Fairy Tail. Lindsay Seidel has played such characters as Nagisa in Assassin's Classroom, Akane Shinjo in SSS's Gridman, and Maya Fey in Ace Attorney. Linda Leonard has played such characters as Marpa in Marie the Virgin Witch, Ajiko Honjo in Sagralop, and Karuko Hosui in Robotics Notes. And lastly, Stephanie Young has played such characters as Nico Robin in One Piece, Claire and Claymore, and most relevant to this conversation, and pretty much the reason I'm sure she got casted here, Juiz in Eden of the East.
Yeah, I can see it.
I really love how Eden of the East and this essentially do have the same twist, but just in kind of fundamentally different ways.
So when I came into this show, I did not expect my favorite character to be the emotional support boomer. I love Masaoka. I love him so much. I'm so mad that he fucking dies.
I feel like you could probably just talk about him.
The boomer went boom.
The boomer went boom. Oh my god.
He got blown up for his son. What a good dad.
Mm.
I love him because he is just, the most, fucking old man of the group, besides Kogami, who is also, a 60-year-old dude and a 20-year-old sausage. And all he wants to do is go back to the old ways, and he kind of hates the civil system took, like, everything away from him about how to be a detective. But what was worse was, like, you can tell that the biggest thing that it did was took him away from his son, who, like, it is the worst held twist in this entire show that, Ginoza is Masaoka's son. Like, it is such a bad secret, because there's a really great part where, Ginoza is talking to Kase, and they're talking about how being a latent criminal can't be passed down genetically yet, or they don't know it, which is an actual thing that some people think. Like, serial killers with kids can pass on their, like, serial killerness to their kids. But, like, there's just this genuine attempt to reach out by Masaoka that just keeps getting brushed off by Jesse James Grill's Ginoza that feels so natural and so much like a cat's cradle situation.
Oh, 100%.
And Jason Douglas having both the scruffy old man who doesn't understand shit, but also the dad trying to reconnect with his son is so good. And I genuinely love the part where they're going to fight the VTubers, and he's got the alcohol bottle, and he's like, "I'm gonna need this for this," and then
he gets a lighter.
Yeah, and Tsunemori, who has never seen a bottle of actual alcohol in her life, is so fucking confused by this that when she's presented actual alcohol to drink, she's like, "Wait, you're not gonna breathe fire with this?" And
Kaguri's just like, "No, you drink this.
You drink this, you fucking idiot." God, you ignorant slut. But, like, I just adore Jason Douglas, and I love Jason Douglas as, like, random dads. You know, like the time where he was Sakura's dad in Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card arc. And, you know, everyone's favorite dead dragon dad, Nevin. Yeah, remember that, bitches?
Oh, God, yeah. I actually forgot that was Jason Douglas.
Yeah. I'll let you guys go, because I don't want to, like, just talk about everybody at once and, like, dominate the conversation.
But yeah, I did like Jason Douglas as Masaoka a lot. I really did like that he kind of gave off the air of the guy who's kind of, like, been around the block for a long time, and definitely kind of knows who he is, but can also be, like, pretty friendly, and I do kind of appreciate that that's a Kogami. He is probably, like, the one person who kind of talks down to Akane the least early on, which is something I definitely appreciate.
It's very clear that he sees, like, he is a mentor that has seen the struggle, has seen the people. Like, Akane is not his first rodeo with a young rookie, but it is clear that he knows how to play the game now, that he wants to prepare them. And it's very clear he stands up for her a lot throughout the show, even from his own kid, who is sometimes a little unreasonable about
his son is kind of an asshole! A lot.
He's kind of an asshole, but it's also very clear that Ginoza himself has a lot of issues, as it's very clear that, like, the natural charisma of being a competent, like, detective is not something that comes naturally to him, and unlike his co-workers, he is afraid to fall down the hole and potentially never come back. And, like, his whole arc is effectively learning to come to terms with, if he lets himself fall, then he will actually be free. Which I actually think is really interesting, and think that is a fun, good development as the series does progress in that regard.
I am cringe, but I am free.
And I think Jesse is absolutely... He is cringe, but he is free. And I think Jessie, she absolutely just does a great job at playing what is basically Byakuya Togami as a cop.
More or less. I really do like the performance. He doesn't really... It's the kind of thing he takes out that really well, and I really do like how Wild energy that's making Ginoza just come up as, like, incredibly snide and condescending in the workplace.
But it's also clear that, like, there is a level of, like, frustration and complexity to Ginaza as a character. And also you can tell that struggle is real. That when he actually feels like he has kind of found a way to make things work and then is outsmarted by the looming eye of Big Brother Sybil, that, yeah, it just kind of falls apart with the, she's absolutely incredible and very heartbreaking at watching Papa Masaoka pass away.
Yeah.
Which also got, Jason Douglas is just very good grizzled dad voice. It's a very good it's a very good range for him, and it just comes naturally for a character like Masaoka, and it's honestly probably like one of my favorite performances of Jason Douglas's, because he's basically playing... Also, now that I think about it, he does kind of... I was going to make a joke, because I couldn't work it in. He does kind of look like Cyberpunk Columbo in a way.
Yeah, I could see it.
Just one more thing.
He's not quite as good of a wife guy as Columbo, because he very much kind of did the old detective thing of being a bad family man. Which, it feels kind of telling that to be a good cop, you have to be a bad person, and to be a bad cop, you have to be human. I'm just gonna take this sip of water.
Patrick, what are your thoughts?
Like, So, Jason Douglas and Jesse had really good dynamic with one another. I love the hedgehog's dilemma with Ginoza, where he doesn't...
What is the hedgehog's dilemma?
The hedgehog's dilemma is basically the fact that, you know, a hedgehog has spines, and if you let people too close to you, they'll get pricked by the spines. Ginoza is so thorny, he can't let people get close to him because he would hurt them.
Yeah.
See where I'm going?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I see where you're going with this, yeah.
And it's
But
just...
also, in a sense, he also doesn't want to hurt himself because he lives in a society that says if you even have these thoughts over a certain level, we're gonna literally throw you in a fucking institution.
It does feel like there is a level of, like... You see a lot of people who don't care that are either, like, so obsessed with... There are people... A lot of the people in this show are people who don't care if they fall, or are just kind of, like, medically lucky in a way that the system doesn't tip them off. And Ginaza is basically just what happens when a normal person who is truly anxious about being too close, at fear of winding up like his own father, and the levels of, like, restraints and, like... There's something you described earlier. You described this about Akane as a joke when you were starting to watch the show, Megan, that you mentioned Akane is basically the gifted kid burnt out right after school.
That's Ginoza.
Ginaza is actually the burnt out gifted kid years later who is depressed, anxious, and probably doing a lot of drugs to cope.
Yes.
That is what Ginaza is, and I actually do think that's pretty interesting in and of itself. I think Jesse is really good at conveying all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting characters, and...
I just want to hear more about Patrick on the Hedgehog's Dilemma stuff.
I mean,
if you have any more.
That's it. Like...
Oh, okay.
Ginaza's prickly because he doesn't want to hurt the people around him or himself.
For sure.
Yeah, so, yeah. Oh yeah, I really do like these two. I really did like these two together, especially like their first like big conversation on the rooftop. I thought that whole.
Oh, I think that exchange
Yeah, that
is
exchange
great.
is great. There's like, you can just really feel there's just a whole bunch of like pent up resentment there, and it's just Jesse gets that across so well. It's great.
If there's one thing I know about Jesse's personal life, is that Jesse's partner fucking loves Psychopaths, by the way.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've seen them tweet very regularly whenever there's a lot of stuff about Jesse's work. They always want to bring up Ginaza, because, you know what? Yeah, Ginaza's a very interesting, compelling character, and also he is a not unattractive man, especially once he grows as a character and gets a ponytail. That does it for some people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not getting my answer out of me yet.
I know, but fuck me, do I at least want to poke the bear a little? Which, I guess I could move on to Kaguri, which I will say he is very much a plucky anime boy character in a setting that very much wants to chew those kinds of characters up and spit them out into the hive mind of the brains. I think Scott does a decent enough job at making all of that come across for a character who's kind of like a plucky, like almost shonen free spirit in what is a dystopian sci-fi environment. And no, I think they do a solid job at making all of that come across.
Yeah.
Puts life into Kaguri before there is no longer any life left to give.
Or a body.
I thought the performance there was solid. Good job. Good job coming across as a guy who, Matt's very casual and friendly, but it's just like clearly very not happy about his circumstances. I especially like the conversation he has in episode 2 with Akane, where she's like, where she's like opening up to him about like her not really being sure if she's doing for a job, and him kind of like trying to play it off, but also kind of like a little angry that she
envious about the fact that she is a privileged bitch.
Envious about the fact that she has choices while he just really doesn't.
He is a domesticated hunting dog that he gets to play with all the toys he wants to, but he has no real freedom because he's stuck in the cage. But it's clear the character is seen as like a good guy and a loyal partner, which makes it when he goes missing, they're like, why the fuck would he run off though? That doesn't make any sense. Why are we spending so much time on this? Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, I think the performance is solid and very much absolutely fitting for a character like Kaguri.
I just don't have much to say about it personally.
Yeah, I will
that's
agree
fair.
with the performance being good, and I would just like to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rip and piss Kaguri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least they didn't blow him up into smithereens like poor David Wald's guy. He just got disintegrated.
There are so many characters who just get turned into balloon chunks. Like, that's some, like, body horror shit where it's like you get one beam and then you just become soup.
Yeah, I think you can actually see...
Nani?
It is very Omaiwa Shinderu, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can see, like, David Wald's guy's, like, spine sticking out of him. When he goes.
You see a little bit of his eyeball when you get his camera POV. So, gay rights!
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we could probably talk about these two together.
So, gay rights is a thing. And I can't say they do a fantastic job of giving Yayoi a lot to do. They give her a whole episode, which I appreciate they give her a whole episode. That is also apparently the only episode of Season 1 that Urobuchi didn't write. But you know what? I'm glad Yayoi got an episode. And I'm glad we get to learn about her terrorist ex-GF. And the fact that she's really good at figuring.
I did not know that this was the only episode Urobuchi did not himself write. Which, given the whole trajectory of that episode, actually kind of tracks. Because it's just like, oh yeah, I'm this anarchist musician. You might be good as a cop. Hell no! I'll give you guitar strings. Fucking sign me up.
I'll never be a cop. You can get a free hot dog at Nathan's. Sign me up for the force, sir.
You think I'll let...
I'm sorry.
Or not?
You can get free clams at the Red Lobster.
Okay. Good. Good. This joke has been salvaged. Well
but
played.
yeah, I did
Good work,
think that
team.
whole episode was interesting because, as mentioned before, while she did have like the offer of guitar strings, she was honestly more or less kind of coerced into joining. Like there wasn't really much choice there.
Authorized music does sound fucking lame.
There is something to be said about the fact that even in that world that you can't even be an artist without the state like sanctioning you.
Oh, there's a lot to be said about art where it's like,
because even Rikako's dad was also a state sanctioned artist.
but it's like very clear that kind of wound up biting him in the ass. And like a lot of the, like I think about the one art critic that Kagami goes to, who I'm like pretty sure was David Matranga. I don't think he actually did any crime. He's just kind of like a fucking art. He's just kind of like a hyper art aficionado who really likes tattooing himself.
Yeah. I got put in jail because I have too many tattoos.
Put in jail because, unlike everybody else here, I got tats on my nuts.
Oh god, that just sounds uncomfortable. And I don't have nuts.
It's the sensation of, hey, what if that specific needle is going to the most sensitive spots on your body, and then rewiring it so that it looks like a cool picture?
Andrew, do you secretly want your nuts tattooed?
Fucking no. I'm just explaining how this seems like a guy who would be unafraid of having a tramp stamp on his balls.
Man. Like, literally just even imagining that is, like, hurting me. Let's move on.
Good. Good.
Why do I have to...
All right.
I have to go to the corner for making a joke, but Andrew's here talking about his nuts getting needled.
I'm not talking about... Oh, Christ. Alright, this is already derailed immensely.
Okay, I was in too much psychic pain. To send him to the corner.
Fair enough. Anyway, shall we continue to talk about the gays again? And how I can't believe Yayoi survives this show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's luck, or if it's just they didn't really have a lot for her to do.
Probably a little both. Like, outside of her own episode, I feel like
that.
Yeah, because, like, outside of her own episode, I think, like, the biggest sport she probably has is, like... So, I think it's, like, either the last episode or the second last episode where she just kind of, like, has a brief conversation with Akane about how, like, she wasn't really sure if she could trust Akane with the job at first now. And how she's kind of, like, toughened up over the course of the show.
I'm told she does get a character arc later on, but I'm not sure if that stuff has been dubbed yet or not. Though I will say, listening to Lindsay Seidel's performance, this is just lesbian Nagisa. Straight up.
Yeah.
And before anybody just says, oh, well, lesbian Nagisa is actually Nagisa, I will personally find you and smack you for disrespecting Nagisa from Assassination Classroom's character arc so fast.
It's specifically the fact that, like, it is that same deep, like, androgynous, maybe leaning a little towards on the masculine side of Lindsay's typical register. That is different than, like, a lot of the performances I would typically associate with her. And I think she does a really good job playing a character I don't typically hear her play. And Yayoi's cool. I like her. I'm glad this funky little lesbian survived the Ura Butcher. That is genuinely an accomplishment.
I mean, if the lesbian doesn't survive the Ura Butcher, she'll just become God.
Or a sword.
That's
Which
just true.
Crunchyroll, dub Thunderbolt Fantasy, you cowards.
Wait! Oh my god, what the fuck is Thunderbolt Fantasy?
A lot, Andrew.
A lot.
I thought that was still Madoka, and then you're like, what do you mean? Oh my god. Okay.
Andrew, don't you know that at the end of every lesbian's life cycle, they turn into an inanimate object for their partner to use? That's just what happens.
I mean, hey, that's
it can be a car, it can be a sword, it can be a dildo.
It could be a guitar, so you could work on your fingering skill, sweetie. You were fine, but I gotta be honest, it didn't do anything for me.
The circle.
Where are we going with this? Fuck me. I blanked, and I'm like, oh god, there's so many potential jokes here, but I don't know where I'm going with this, so let's just talk about the fact that Lydia McKay is fucking great.
Leonard is good.
Oh, I was going with Lydia, because we hadn't talked about Lydia yet.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Lydia. Okay, yep. Never mind. I read the wrong part.
Oh, okay. In your defense, these three characters are lined up next to each other, and they are Lydia, Lindsay, and Linda. I can see the confusion.
We need to get everybody with an L name that's a woman in the office.
Look, let's just talk about the fact that in Dub Talk there is Jared, Jarrett, Jairus. Like, yeah, let's talk about the fact that that's a thing. Jarrett.
No, I know Jarrett and Jared. Who's Jareth?
That's David Bowie.
I was confusing Jarrett. You know what? I appreciate the save for me, buddy. You know what? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well,
the floor is for your talk about our little, our funky bisexual flirt.
Lydia's a lot of fun here.
Like, good on the show for having, like, a chaotic, horny lesbian character, or, I'm sorry, bisexual character, who's not, like, completely overbearing.
It's very clear that she is actively not, like, creeping on anybody that doesn't want it. It's very much the fact that, like, Kogami is trying to get on her good side for a favor, and she's just like, honey, I want you to know flattery will get you everywhere with me. What do you want?
Like, she
if you think that I'm a...
Oh, no, go ahead.
If you think that I'm a slut for donuts, you're right.
Yeah, it's...
Go ahead.
It's great. She's, like, a flirt with everybody, but it's also just, like...
It's clear that she is not a, oh my god, what's that bitch from Bleach's name?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, now I know who you're...
You know what? She doesn't even get her name. She is that Bleach from Bitches. Oh my god.
Use words, Andrew.
It's funny you said I know. Yeah, I know which character you're talking about. That
I know.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it like this. She stops mattering because she doesn't get a sword. That's how it works in Bleach.
It's just great to see, like, a horny girl who is into girls not be a creeper in an anime.
That's always nice.
Mm-hmm. And to live. It helps that she lives.
That too.
But I like Lydia. I like Lydia's performance a lot, and she sounds fun.
Oh yeah, no, she is an absolute delight, and she is a very welcome addition. She's a welcome, colorful addition to what is kind of like this very dark, gritty cast of characters. And
I didn't get to say.
Go
ahead. Finish your thoughts first.
Lydia also kind of gets the sort of morbid sense of humor Shion has.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very clear that there is that they are jokey about the situation, because sometimes you make jokes to make the fucked up situation a little less fucked up. But it's definitely not like this is not prime time, and they are not like they're not going for the pun and putting the sunglasses on. It's just, oh, we can make a little crack wise, and then it's going to be quiet and awkward as we continue the story. Which is how it typically would go. And yeah, I think for sure Shion gets that particular element of it a lot.
What were you going to say, Megan?
Yeah, I hadn't gotten to give my thoughts a lot on Lindsay Seidel's performance. And this is a performance that I'm actually not super used to her doing. And it just reminded me of, like, how talented she actually is. I remember earlier this year, somebody told me that, like... Oh, God. Somebody said to me that she was a one-trick pony.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is regarding to her being cast in another show that the girls are going to be talking about coming up soon. But they kind of had, like, they were saying, like, she was a one-trick pony, and I was like, are you fucking high, my guy? Like, no, she's super great in this, and I genuinely like that she is a little bit more masculine with her tone. Especially because I don't, like a lot of people said, I think a lot of people really only know her more masculine tone when she is playing, you know, Nagisa from Assassination Classroom, who is a middle school boy and not an adult woman. And one of the things I usually really like about this is with a lot of female characters, is when people give them more gruffer voices. Not just a more pretty and feminine voice, but, like, letting their voices have more texture. Because not every cute anime girl is gonna have that cutesy moe-kun voice, even if they, like... And they do this with a lot of adult or more tomboy-y characters. And it doesn't always work for me vocally. So I really appreciate Lindsay's performance there. And just, I think Lydia McKay steals the show whenever Shion's on screen. Just because she's not hammy, but it's very much, she's got the big personality in her voice to match up what the character's doing. And I very much like when she's like, yeah, I'd sleep with you, but you're not my type. But I'm not your type. Here you go, Kogami. Because, frankly, I think that Kogami sometimes has the personality of cooked rice.
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint. I don't find Kogami attractive. The personality doesn't do it for me.
Oh, that's fair.
Like, I get that he's hot, and I get that you could, like, you know, wash a load.
You could grind meat on that.
You could both wash your laundry and make, like, steak tartare on him.
Yep.
But we'll get to Kogami.
But you're not about that.
We'll get to Kogami when we get to Kogami. But I really like her. And then let's talk about everyone's worst boss ever.
Yeah.
Like, this woman, like, robot thing, I think was poor fucking, poor fucking Jessie is getting her character's balls yanked by this thing.
Ginaza is getting hardcore gaslit throughout the entirety of the show by Chief Kase.
Yeah, I really do like this performance a lot. I'm not sure if I can't remember if it's the first thing I ever heard Linda in, but it's definitely.
It was probably the first thing I would say I heard Linda.
Yeah, it's definitely the performance of her that kind of, like, sticks out the most to me. I really dig it.
Because I think it's like strict old woman boss authoritative figure, but also it gets to be conniving and even malicious at times.
Yeah, it definitely is a very kind of I really do like it. There's a lot of, like, very no nonsense going on with her tone a lot of the time, and Linda gets that across really well, and you know, definitely very authoritative whenever it comes to, you know, dealing with characters like Gita's and whatnot. Just that's a very commanding tone in her voice. But then, you know, when we get the whole, like, symbol reveal, and whenever she has an actor symbol, you can hear Linda kind of not going, like, maybe full ham, but there's something, like, a bit more energy to the performance I appreciate. And speaking of energy, like, it is a very kind of silly thing. It's just something I really appreciate. Like, and when we get into the whole like plots and the whole plot about her wanting Makishima to like become part of the symbol system, and she's also like telling all the other characters to like bring Makishima back alive. I really do just love like the way, just the very specific way Linda says, "Make sure you bring him back to be alive." It's beautiful.
It does sound very diabolical, which, man, the fucking book literally being thrown back at her is so
I fucking cackled. I'm sorry. That was hysterical.
It was the most is the most Gen Urobuchi has ever said. I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards to literally throw the book back in the chief of police's face.
Yeah, it's like when Legion's trying to argue with the big bad, and the big bad's like, "No, fuck you, Legion."
Okay, no. Don't diss my boy Legion like that. No, what you're actually talking about is him talking to a Reaper. That's what you're going for.
What the fuck is a Reaper?
Okay, this Mass Effect analogy is absolutely getting lost on the group right now, so I'm going to back off.
I'm sorry, I never played Ass Effect. Not that the game is ass, but there's a lot of ass in it.
Oh no, I've seen it. I've seen parody videos from the 2010s. I remember that there was basically like machinima-based Mass Effect YouTube poops, basically.
My brand!
K.
My brand!
Oh god. Anyways, Linda's good, but also, yeah, like, it's a very distinct role, because not only is it just, like, the tough, authoritative lady, is like, yeah, no. There is, like, a moment where she just straight up, drops face, and just almost kills Kogami right in front of, like, several of the co-workers. Just cuz.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Just cuz.
Because it's like, you're getting in the way of my fucking plan. God, guys.
Bro, you know how fucking good it's gonna feel to have that fucking psychotic Redditor brain inside of us?
Can I say something very cursed and Patrick can send me to the corner after?
Fine.
Go for it.
I feel physical pain of what I'm about to say.
Do it.
Hit me, bitch.
I'm getting to it. I gotta build myself up to it. Koshi is the chief's name, right?
Kase.
But guys, he just has a demon mode, and sometimes it's a little bad. I just want him to put his Neuralink into me.
I feel physical pain.
Oh, lordy.
We tested it on sick monkeys.
Oh, it took me a second. I was like, oh, fuck me.
Jose is just Grimes, and Makishima is Elon. And she wants his super brain so that they can make another fucked up baby.
Kase, stop chewing on your fingers. Stop chewing on your fingers. They're bleeding.
This is the most soul-sucked I've ever heard the two of you.
What more can I add? What more can I add? It's just, I already have to know he names his kids after fucking equations, and he won't stop ever being the main character. He paid $45 billion to be a forever main character while he's tripping out of his fucking mind being a fucking conservative nutjob.
It's just sad.
Like, Urobuchi would get criticized by his editors for writing a character like Elon Musk by saying that's too on the nose. That is the level at which fiction is so much stupider than reality anymore.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
As you were.
Linda. I said, but yeah, Linda's fun is fun's not the right word, but Linda's very good as Kase, and Kase's an interesting character. Does kind of suck this character since he rides off into the sunset, but yeah.
The little robot sunset.
Can I just say that one thing I really appreciate with Stephanie Young's Dominator performance? She does a really good job with the robot voice with the gun. But that's just part of it. She goes full on fucking GLaDOS when the mask finally drops.
Oh my god, you're right.
It is beautiful.
Oh my god, you're right, yeah.
And if you pass our exam, Tsunemori, you will be given a cake.
Okay, Megan, I just want you to know that actually scared me.
What happened, Jet?
Megan, I just want you to know that actually scared me for a second.
Patrick,
Please,
go ahead.
Inspector Tsunemori, please take the weighted companion cube to the incinerator.
You just killed your best friend. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Your crime coefficient is not going up. What the fuck?
God, imagine, like, the part in Portal 2 where GLaDOS is a potato, but it's just one of the brains just on the end of the portal gun.
Mm.
Does this make Makishima Wheatley?
Okay. Here's the thing about throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks for a fucking Dub Talk episode. Because sometimes there's just more being thrown than you can physically process has been thrown. And sometimes you just can't even anymore. Sometimes you just can't even anymore.
But getting back on topic, I really do. I really do like the way. I really do like the performance Stephanie Young gives, because while Patrick was saying, while it is very robotic, there is, it is emotive in a way that is kind of hard to describe in a sense, but it's really chilling.
Yeah.
It is holier than thou knowing you are the be-all, end-all, the alpha and the omega. Whatever you are, whatever you say, is law and is therefore God. So whenever God chooses to speak to an individual and reveal the truth so as to get their way, they have to choose somebody who will not rat them out, because they know if they rat them out, the system is going to... Society will be more fucked if they know the truth. And that is why they chose Tsunemori. Not because they thought she was weak-willed, but because they knew her, and they're like, you know that Sybil is still better than the alternative, which will be anarchy.
And oh god. So the scene I love most with the interactions between Tsunemori and the Dominator, it's the argument at the end where you can physically tell through Stephanie Young's performance that, like, the collective of Sybil is just like, ah, fuck, we're being played. Like...
I do kind of love the haunting chorus of Stephanie's, like, robotic laughs.
That whole scene is really unsettling, because it's like, because, like, on the one hand, you really do want to side with Akane's way of thinking, but on the other hand, it's just like, Sybil is just, like, completely convinced it's going to win, and it's like, looking at society now, it's like, man.
Okay, so I know this is a future editor's problem, but I'm like, you could probably just use a picture of the Dominator, but instead of, like, a Sybil brain, can we use the brain from Evil Con Carne instead?
Oh my god. Only if the bear from that is holding the gun.
Okay, that takes extra editing, but fuck me, that's a...
Oh, Jackson!
Oh my god. Alright.
I trust him.
Where the Stephanie's really good at sounding horrifying Gladysy. And Linda... Also, credit to Linda Leonard, because you can actually tell it is slightly different when Tabe takes over, compared to the originator, or the person who plays the part of Kase more often than not.
Whatever Kase is in there. Hello, Makishima. They have told me that this is the voice that you are more attuned to. We were friends once. Here, I've brought you a new book to read. It's Catcher in the Rye.
Is it first edition?
No.
No.
It's an ebook.
Then you're fucking useless. And then you're fucking useless to me. I do love the whole conversation Makishima does have with David Walt's character.
About physical media.
About physical media, where it's like, he may be a psychotic, mass-murdering, anarchist terrorist, but I mean, he likes physical media, so he's at least morally gray, right?
Guys. I thought Linda Leonard and Stephanie Young were great, especially Stephanie Young as the Dominator. Because, to me, there's just this great part where it's just, like, the collective laughing at Tsunemori. And Tsunemori's like, laugh it up now, bitch! I'm gonna fuck your shit up one day. And they're like, haha, she's not serious, right, guys?
Haha, haha, please say psych.
Yeah. That author's note, Tsunemori was not saying psych. I'm good to move on if you guys are.
Yeah. Alright.
That's up to Jet, he's the host.
Alright, I guess no one else said anything to add. We can finally move on to our final section of the evening. So it's time to talk...
Our lead detectives and our, lead criminal.
Yep, talking about our main characters.
Will Hannibal and the woman who pegs them.
Yep, so we have our main characters and our main antagonists. We have Akane Tsunemori, Shinya Kokumi, and Shogo Makishima. Akane is a new inspector at the WMPSB. Like fresh out of college, doesn't really know her way around the position too well, and she has a pretty stressful first day, and is mostly just kind of trying to learn the job as he goes along. It goes about as well as you would expect. And then Kokumi is an enforcer who was a former inspector, and so he got a little too obsessed with one case where he was trying to hunt down.
Trying to avenge his old partner.
Who kind of sucked, to be honest.
Yeah, his old partner he sucks.
I like how he's like, yeah, no, he was kind of a sleazeball and an asshole and tried to grab all the female coworkers' asses, but like, bro, getting turned into art is a bad way to go. That's a bad way to go.
So he became an enforcer after he got a little bit too obsessed with trying to hunt Makishima down. And that's kind of his driving motivation through a lot of the season, and kind of balances between that and sort of like being another one of Akane's kind of would-be mentors. And then Makishima, as mentioned before, is our main antagonist of the season. They say he's not a traditional anarchist, but for all intents and purposes, he basically is like he has an axe to grind with the system, and a lot of his actions, throughout the first half of the show, he's just kind of like encouraging people to, find different ways of kind of killing within the system. And then
he basically is the guy who's like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna get you the toys, and you use them to your heart's content. And then when I give you a call, you answer the phone.
Yep, and throughout the second half of the show, he's kind of fully dedicated to trying to burn the system down.
I do think, say, for all we joke about Makishima as a character, I kind of adore the fact that he just very succinctly, almost childishly, kind of admits, I don't want to be one of your psychotic umpires getting pickled in a jar. I want to be one of the players on the field to the bitter end.
I ain't a pussy.
And I kind of love that, and I think that makes him extra compelling as an antagonist of the series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. So, getting into who plays these characters. For Akane, we have Kate Oxley. For Kukumi, we have Robert McCollum. And for Makishima, we have Alex Organ. Kate Oxley is played such characters as Misa Kurosawa in A Certain Magical Index, Ren in Konohana Kitan, Momo Adachi in Peach Girl, and Misaki Kiraharu in Darker Than Black. Robert McCollum is played such characters as Baki and Baki the Grappler, specifically like the old one from the 2000s. Honda and Barakamon, Goten and Dragon Ball GT, and Shinobu Sensui in Yu Yu Hakusho. And then Alex Organ is played such characters as Zed O'Brien and Blood Blockade Battlefront, Hakashima in The Boy and the Beast, Deckham in Death Parade, and Lloyd Forger, aka Twilight and Spy Family.
Can I finally say the joke I've been stating on all of my episode?
Go ahead.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so you know that whole meme about, you know the meme that's based on the Yu-Gi-Oh card where the person standing in front of the sign and one way goes to like a happy cheery place and one way goes to like a scary spooky place that's demonish?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's, a lot of people have used that meme about bronies where it's bronies either become trans or Nazis.
It's wild. I have seen that pipeline in real time. It's
So it's like Alex Organ characters based off of his, like, I would say outside of Deckham, his two other known characters. You either go to happy fun dad time with Twilight or demon Reddit man murderer. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk.
But yeah, I really do adore Alex's Makishima. It really is just a fantastic rendition of a guy who just really thinks he knows better than you.
Everything about it is that this is a man who is so book read and so book smart and has basically spent a lot of time figuring all this out. He is a weird loner who has been rejected by the system, which in turn means he's been rejected by society. But also, he kind of is cool with that, and he's like, you know what? If the rules don't apply to me, why don't I test to see where those strings finally break?
Yeah.
And I find that there is a kind of fascinating conundrum where it's like, he's a fucked up guy who wants to turn society and the system on its head upside down. He's not a good person. But I almost find it more compelling the fact that he ends this series being like, man, I don't want to be a god. That shit sucks. I want to have fun while I'm doing all of this. And I kind of do like how his last plan is almost like winging it. Because you can tell, like, the whole thing with the helmets that read somebody else's psychopaths. That was something that took a lot of time and coordination, a lot of months, time, prep, and chaos and energy. But then his last plan, he's like, alright, I just escaped. The system wants my brain. Fuck, what do I do? What do I do?
Starve everybody!
Oats! Fuck your oats!
Be a shame if, your oats were destroyed.
Yeah.
Plagued you all your horses.
Be a shame if all the livestock start. A plague be upon ye horses.
Whoa, plague be upon thee.
But no, Alex has this very soft-spoken, like, book-read college professor to him, that this is a guy you've talked about a lot of, like, you've talked about a lot of humanities, you've talked about a lot of, like, historical fiction and English literature. Like, this is the kind of guy where it's like, okay, You probably met somebody who on the surface is like this, who probably just isn't as psychotically broken.
Yeah, no, like, to me, I think the best way that, in speaking in a show where a character makes God's amounts of literary references, Alex Organ's performance as Makishima has a very, very Moriarty feeling to it.
Oh, it's 100%.
In that, like, everything that he does is, like, yeah, he's a psychopathic killer, but he's also so charismatic that you want to believe in what he's saying because of it.
You want to believe in his mission, whether or not he even believes in his own mission.
Yeah. And it's like, he, a lot of times, has the quality of heartbreaking news, the worst person you know technically has a point. Because he's kind of right about the system being bullshit. Like, the idea that for so many people that they don't even try anymore to find out, like, what it is to be alive, they just kind of have placated themselves into an idea of a utopia. And I can't believe that it's taken me 2 hours to get to this as a fucking reference. Everybody, it's time for me to bring up the critically acclaimed MMORPG Starter Edition free trial for Final Fantasy XIV, which will now include the entirety of A Realm Reborn, the award-winning Heavensward, and the second major expansion, Stormblood?
God, over 2 hours in, and this is the first that's coming up. That's restraint.
Oh, it's gonna be funnier when I tell you something about something I posted in the group chat in about 5 minutes. But this idea that, and this is mild spoilers, I'm going to be as vague about it as I can, but this is decent-ish spoilers for Endwalker. The way that the society in Psychopaths is actually very similar to the ancient society in 14, but I think that one's a little bit more fucked up, because in that world, people didn't die until they wanted to. But they also viewed death for anything that was a non-human creature as not the same as, like, a humanoid in that society dying. And a big reason why the plot of Endwalker gets to where it is because a guy created a being of basically a hive of little tiny bird girls, and he was depressed about all this and said, I need you to go out in the universe and tell me what it means to live. And he sends them all out. And they come back, and they have determined that there is no point in living, because eventually you're going to die no matter what course you take. And some of that feels like it's in Psychopaths a little bit, in the sense that Makishima is raging against a system where people's lives are determined by aptitude tests, where it's like, it's so weird, too, that Akane's big thing is that she has, and I think, like, she brings it up herself at one point when she's having, a flashback, I think, talking to her friend that dies and her other friend, in that when you have an aptitude so high, when you are this prodigy, what's the point in taking an aptitude test if your aptitude is for everything? This system that's supposed to make it easier to determine what you're good at, so that you don't have to actually put an effort into your life to find what makes you the person that you are, because it's not always what society says is best for you. And Makishima, I think, has a legitimate grievance against this. It's just, you're going about this in the way that you shouldn't, because, let's be real, you shouldn't be fucking murdering and kidnapping and raping people. That's not cool, guys. So, just, I think that's something I appreciate about his character, in that despite all of this, Makishima is so almost calm and well-spoken, and the only times you finally see him start to break is at the end, where he's finally been made to bleed his own blood. and he's running through these, like, wheat fields, and you see him, like, touching his chest, and his handprints are leading Kogami to him, and he goes out as, like, a martyr to him and only him against the system. So when I posted... So the other night, I was talking about the dynamic between Kogami and Makishima. How... Because Jet was bringing up something about shark teeth. And how Kogami doesn't have shark teeth like the character... Like the Fengi character that he was based on. Because if you look at Reborn art... some of the characters in Reborn look like younger versions of these characters. So I posted to them... so we posted about something. Jet was like, "Oh, I'll bite you to death." So then I was like, clearly Kogami needed the fangs because he could be over Makishima, and then Makishima could be like, "The hunger to bite down on my jugular, to feel the warmth fill your mouth and run over it, even as you drink deep." Yep, that's a fucking Final Fantasy XIV quote.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because that is the quote that Xenos, the main villain of Stormblood, who is essentially, like, more psychopathic Makishima with, like, Nazi elements, please play Final Fantasy XIV, it's fantastic, says to you, because you're his Kogami. And he wants you to be his best friend and rip out his jugular and drink his blood and shit, because that's hot girl shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm almost relieved to find out that's Final Fantasy XIV, because I genuinely, honest to God, thought that quote was Omegaverse.
Andrew, you say Omegaverse like it's a bad thing.
Look, that's a metal as hell line of dialogue, and it's really cool, and I'm relieved to know it is from the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy XIV, and is not from somebody who is getting their pussy impregnated by the big bad wolf with giant fucking sausage fingers.
I hate you. Stop being mean to ABO. Just for that, not be upon thee.
It's an easy target, but come on, it's
like an Omega. Come on.
It's at least it is silly. It is silly.
I'm going to Google. I'm going to AO3 right now to see how many Shogo Makishima Shinya Kogami ABO fics there are.
While you're doing that, Patrick, did you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, an element of Makishima's performance that kind of got overlooked here that I picked up on is that while he is book smart, he is absolutely a fucking child.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, he may be smart, he may be strategizing all these things well in advance, but he's just an angry little kid breaking toys. Like, really.
He's Holden Caulfield.
Fuck.
So, the answer to that is that, no, I did not find any Shoko Makishima and Shinya Kogami ABO fics.
Cowards.
I did find a Ginoza and Kogami one.
That makes sense. Yeah, that one makes sense to me, yeah. Anyways, Alex is really good.
And Robert McCollum's a really good, like, chain-smoking, bend-through-shit detective. Not quite as much as Masaoka, but, like, you could tell he's been among the wolves for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Robert just has this great, grizzled tone of his voice that's very fitting and necessary for a character like Kogami, where it's like, Kogami is not exactly, like, a young man. Like, he looks like he could be young, but he doesn't look... I think, Megan, you were kind of trying to imply the fact that he has, like, the soul of a 50, 60-year-old in the hot rod body of a 20, 30-year-old. Hell yeah, he do. And I think, yeah, a lot of what Robert McCullum's voice is a lot of that, where it's like, it's got the right grizzled energy of, like, somebody who is older while also managing to make him sound at least a little bit younger and ignorant compared to somebody like Masako.
Yep, yeah, this is definitely the kind of character Robert McCollum excels at. Like, it is kind of funny thinking back to when this show first came out and when, like, I was anticipating it because, like, when I first watched the show, I was thinking, like, man, this is such a Robert McCollum character. I hope he plays him. And then I saw the cast and I was like, oh, wow, I was running money there.
God, remember the days where we did dub predictions in our episodes?
God, now it's hard.
Yeah.
There's so many great new actors.
It's basically, at some point, you just kind of got to throw a dart and be like, all right, do I want to put a stock in Belshazzar, or do I want to put my stock into our boy Jacob?
Yeah, congrats, Jacob!
There's a lot of...
Congrats.
Congratulations to former Patreon who told us to review Golden Boy for the show, now getting in the Crunchyroll doors. Proud of you, bro.
Panda is bellowing.
But yeah.
Also remember to be very, very careful about your Naziz Tarsha stocks. It may have side effects. You might start thinking that Saturdays are for dads.
And dad's cars.
And his trophies.
I legitimately forgot what Naziz Tarsha looked like because I honestly just associate him with Dexter's dad.
The fact that he doesn't look like Dexter's dad in real life, guys, is a slight disappointment.
Oh no, like, Naziz's great. I just find that really funny. Like, people forget before Justin Briner became Deku, he had Josh Peck as his Twitter PFP.
Me remembering when Justin Briner did Tumblr voiceovers for Homestuck.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll send it to you.
Everybody has origins
He also
to the internet.
loves balls.
Everybody has origins, and it always comes back to Persona 4 Hymns Day.
Yeah.
Anyways, Robert McCallum's good?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, like I said, it's Boris is pretty much his wheelhouse. He does a good job of making Kogami come off as a guy who's rough around the edges, but well-meaning, and I do like how he bounces off of Akane a lot of the early interactions, and how he kind of mentors her in his own way, and is, as I mentioned before, kind of the character who sort of immediately shows her the most respect compared to everyone else, who just kind of, like, just kind of treats her like a rookie. And I do like it as a very clear degree of respect Kogami has for her consistently, and Robert gets it across really well.
I'd also really like just to talk about Robert McCollum's chemistry, I think, with a lot of different characters in the show is really good. I think, to me, the one thing that I actually didn't expect, because I thought about it, is sometimes Kogami can actually be really funny. I was very much expecting a much more hard-assed all-the-time character. And it's like, no, he's just kind of like a very intense but normal dude. Who just really likes his job.
Yeah.
And
also really has a rockin' bod.
Which I appreciate. While there might be something there between, like, Akane and Kogami, I do appreciate that it's not, like, a really big focus to, like, their
I want there to be things between them.
Yeah, but it would be nice, but not, like, a big thing. But I do appreciate that, like, the one time they do maybe sort of hint that he might be there, or, like, Akane's, like, walking out of Kogami, like, fighting a robot. And it's, like, a brief moment where you can kind of, like, see her, like, checking out his abs.
But yeah, no, you can definitely tell there is something there, but I think also a lot of what develops between them is also based almost entirely around how much Akane changes throughout the entirety of the show.
Yeah.
Which, I'd say the big thing for Akane Tsunemori, and especially in regards to Kate Oxley in particular, how much Psycho-Pass works for you, at least this first part of Psycho-Pass works for you, is how much you buy the development and rising action of Akane Tsunemori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she... Yeah. Because she really does kind of start out as that, like, privileged kid who could go anywhere, but is, like, wants to enforce justice because she thinks she believes in justice without having really seen any of the dark underbellies or the truths or the having to make the hard choices or having to deal with the sacrifices.
Really, she doesn't initially do it for all that. She does it because... Or she joined the NWPSB because... Not because of a sense of justice, but instead... It was the one place nobody else got a good score at, so it was the one place she would be able to move up the ranks.
She took pride at being the only one of her class to even get the offer.
Yeah.
But yeah, then as you see her develop, and like, my god, Akane does develop into a pretty compelling leading protagonist. Yeah. And like, seeing her step the fuck up is really cool. Like, you see her at her ignorance, you see her at her absolute lowest, and then you see her rising to climb and take it all. And even to the point where she is actively challenging Sybil itself. To the point that, like, one of my favorite exchanges is where she basically makes a bargain where it's like, hey, you want this new brain food. I want my man back alive. If we're going to do this, I need this thing modded for me to consistently use non-lethal rounds at will. If I don't have the ability to do that, I cannot guarantee Makishima's safety. And I think that's fucking badass. That is absolutely badass. And you know what? But yeah, I feel like Kate is a very interesting choice for a character like Akane. And I definitely say probably... I don't know if this is mean to say. She is definitely, quite literally, the greenest among this cast. It's... In some ways, that feels almost intentional in the fact that she feels a little more like a rookie in the shoes of Akane in like a sort of meta way, but that also might just be me reading into it. I think Kate is a little rough at this.
It is kind of interesting going back to this, because like my only other point of reference for Kate going into this was actually Misaki in Darker Than Black, which was the only thing I knew in before this, and so it's funny enough. I think I can't remember if it was in the commentaries, but I think Zach Bolton might have mentioned that like her performance in that show was kind of why she got casted here, so I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that is interesting, yeah.
Because I was a pretty major character in that show, so.
But that having been said, my god, Kate gets a lot to chew on with a character like Akane Tsunomori, and by the end of this, by god, is she really, really rocking the hard-boiled detective who's not going to lose to cynicism or like the fucked up corruption of the system to try and get what she wants. Even if she doesn't succeed, she's not going to let that wallow in despair and let that sink her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which a lot of what makes Psychopaths works is how much you like Akane Tsunomori and like seeing her rise and develop as an inspector. And in that regard, that does make Psychopaths a really compelling watch. At least as far as these first 22 episodes.
Yeah, I really do like the performance a lot. Really do think she does a good job of making it kind of come off as kind of frustrated and naive in the beginning without not making it come off as like influenced or leading into the whole like boy anime girl thing too much, which is an aspect of Kate's performance I appreciated because like I did watch the show in Japanese originally, and I believe it was
that is Kana Hanazawa as Akane Tsunomori, basically one of the most iconic like female seiyus.
So definitely interesting coming off of a performance like that, I think. And I think Kate's variation of Akane is very interesting in that respect. Where it does sound a little more kind of, I don't want to say grounded in a sense, but it is a kind of a bit more. I don't know. It doesn't lead into like the whole like anime girl thing as much, which is something I thought was interesting.
I feel like the difference is like the assumed leading lady in an anime versus the leading lady in a cop procedural TV show.
But yeah.
No,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, which I think that in itself does make it compelling take on a character like Akane in a show like this.
Yeah, but I like a lot of her growth throughout the show, especially what aspect of Kate's performance I especially like was her delivery in the scene where like where Gideon has been kind of talking down to her throughout like the entire first half, and then like she finally has it and kind of tells him off. I thought Kate was really good there.
I do like that, like, there are those moments where it's like you could tell she could wallow in the despair, and it's very clear that she is going to face the challenge head on, not because anybody's making her, but because she's actively choosing to do so, is in itself a pretty compelling arc.
Yeah.
And then of course, I really like their delivery into like the last scenes he has with Sybil where like she's telling it off. And not just like, and I really appreciate that scene on a lot of levels, not just because I really like Kate's delivery there, and just like, you know, the whole representation of hope that Akane is just kind of supposed to represent in that moment, but just because I just sort of like the whole ambiguity of like that whole conversation where we're not quite sure if Akane's optimism is going to win out in the end or if Sybil's going to get what it wants. I just thought that was really interesting.
I think the thing that I really liked about Kate's performance as Akane is that it is that green feeling, but also it just grows in her confidence as the character goes on. And that's actually one of the things I really want to appreciate about Psychopaths, is that as much as Kogami gets the kill on Makishima in the end, this is still Tsunemori's story.
Yeah.
This is still her story. She is still the most important character. And I feel like in a lot of these shows that attract a lot of people about, like, oh, who's the smart genius of the group? I like shows that are intellectual and stuff. And it's usually, like, the most basically written OP smart edgy boy show. Doing, like, and it's like, we're gonna show we're edgy by, like, having high schoolers commit torture on each other. Or, I'm the super smart boy, and the girl character who likes me is here just to be eye candy for me to abuse and show how super smart I am.
Basically, the main character is anime Batman.
That's an insult. That's an insult to Batman, depending on the writer.
Depending on the writer, but I feel like it's a basic assumption of what people
everybody
think.
It's nice to see a female lead character like this in an anime when so many people want their smart, edgy character to be a different flavor of Light Yagami or Lelouch. That the thing that I really like, and I think it's my favorite moment in the show, is not that Akane stands up to the civil system, or the Sybil system. I get it, because it sounds like civil.
Oh my god. Oh my god, fuck off. Oh my god. I literally realized like a day ago Psychopaths is Psychopath. And it's like, oh god damn it. It's all wordplay, isn't it? It's all puns with the Japanese. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't even pick up on that myself. Ugh.
Also, ha 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 ha. Also, did you know that there's a horror movie called Sybil?
Of course there is.
It's not.
Yeah, it's also a psychological horror.
That would make sense. But yeah.
What were you going to say before?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. By the way, fun thing about Sybil, this is just a summary of the book by Flora Rada Schreiber, is that Sybil manifests 16 personalities. Wilbur encourages Sybil's various selves to communicate in real information about her life. Hey, you know what the Sybil system's made out of?
Oh my god.
Bunch of different brains. i.e., bunch of different personalities.
It's all references all the way down, isn't it?
Turtles all the way down. But the thing that I like is that it is when they are finding the agriculture guy that Makishima killed to get into the factory, right?
Yep.
And she decides, she's like, we gotta think like not Makishima, like Kogami does. And she had looked on the neck and is like, there's a metal thing in the neck, get me gloves. And everybody else is like, do you want to use the drone for that? And she just shoves her fingers in this dude's slit throat and pulls out the thing. No hesitation, completely unflinching. And they're all like, what the fuck, Tsunemori? And she's just like, I found it. Tsunemori goes from being a bottom to topping.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like about her, and it's kind of something that I genuinely appreciate about some characters, is that despite being in a hyper-violent world, she herself does not want to give in to hyper-violence.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about characters, because it seems like these days everybody hates the idea that characters can, not want to go apeshit. Have you tried being nice? And I think that Kate gets that growth in her character, because there is still a warmth to her performance as Tsunemori, and I think that's really reflected in the last episode, where it's a exact mirror of her first night. But unlike how Jessie performs Ginoza doing it, where Ginoza sees it as, oh great, here we fucking go. She kind of has this more sympathetic, like, this is about to be the worst night of your fucking life. I'm so sorry, but this is what you have to do. I liked her performance a lot, and I wish Kate Oxley was in more things.
Yeah.
Same. You have anything you want to add, Patrick?
Kate Oxley, good. You guys pretty much said everything.
Kate Oxley, good indeed.
Okay. Alright, and with that, I think we can finally move on to final thoughts. Who would like to go first?
I think this has been a very fascinating show to go back and rewatch for a couple of reasons. I'm simultaneously glad I got the chance to actually rewatch this show with a modern perspective and a more discerning eye about a couple of things that have come out since. But also, fuck you, I am now cursed with the fact that I will now pursue the path of catching up. I now need to know why this franchise continued to be a franchise, how it somehow continued to exist after the fucking bomb that is Psychopath Season 2, and if anything that came out after it, and came out after Urobuchi really cleaned his hands of it, is even worth it or not. At this point, I'm now at I need to know. I need to know. And yes, that's going to include going back to Season 2, and yes, that's going to suck.
Good luck with that.
Glory,
That being
glory,
said,
what a hell of a way to die.
That being said, this was a fun show to really revisit and get a chance to talk about. There's a lot of things that hold up way better than they should, and it's upsetting. Not the performances, in the actual things that Urobuchi brings up. I think there's some fucking line about why is the media inciting more violence right now, and it's like, well, it's whatever they can to get clicks, and I just screamed, Urobuchi! Like, fuck, man. Fuck. But, you know what? Honestly, Season 1's still really solid. There's a lot of fun performances, and a couple of career highlights for some people, too. Yeah. This was good. Glad I got to do this.
Patrick, you want to go before me? Because I talk a little too much, so I don't want to steal anything.
So, yeah, this was a really interesting show to revisit, especially given the times now. The dub itself is the kind of dub I wish I could see from Crunchyroll more often, with a bunch of people collaborating on the production side in such a way that I guess everybody has time to do the research and figure things out, instead of it being like, oh, you got like 2 weeks. I kind of miss this. And frankly, I wish we could see things of this cerebral nature done this way more often.
The reality is this. The seasonal simulcast grind is ever growing and impossible to catch up on. Take some time to go back, smell the flowers, go find that weird thing in your collection you don't remember buying, and just put it on every now and then. You might find some gems you didn't know you owned.
Yeah. There you go.
I say that, and somebody's going to accidentally watch a Violence Jack and be like, oh god, this was a mistake.
Hey, what's this Rin Daughters of Menmacine show?
Oh my god.
Man, this reminded me. This reminded me. I have a copy of Yugo sitting on my shelf that I haven't watched yet.
You should watch that. I think for me, as somebody who never just like had the inkling to watch the show over many, many years, I enjoyed it for what it is. I think this dub is fantastic. I definitely agree that there should be, like, I don't want to defend the Megacorp because fuck the Megacorp idea, but I can understand why they do what they do, and it's because I guess I go on said Megacorp's Discord, but like, people like lose their absolute fucking mind if like people lose their absolute fucking mind forgetting what time a sub-episode comes out of a show. So I understand it, but that being said, I think the most ideal thing would be to obviously, one, expand back to having studios outside of just the internal Spear record stuff and just put some stuff on a post-seasonal thing and just put them out with this collaborative effort. Because the thing is, as much as I do really like this, I also don't want to, like, act as if we don't get qualities of dubs like this anymore. But I understand what Patrick is criticizing, and I agree with him 100%. I just understand that a lot of people, I think, wouldn't get what we're talking about, what we're missing. And just, like, that. And the one thing I think I really do like about this, too, is that... God, I'm trying to put it in... How am I going to put it in words? I honestly wish that we would also get more shows like this again. Because I think a lot of psychological thriller shows that come out these days aren't necessarily psychological thrillers. They're just excuses to be ultra grimdark, but act like they're smart. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does feel like this particular brand of show has kind of gone out of style.
It is the assumption people look at Psychopaths and assume that it is a nihilistic show, and that is almost a falsity that a lot of shows tend to fall into.
Yeah, and I wish that also, too, I believe, is this an original project as well?
Yes.
Yep.
It is original
Yeah,
work, yes.
I want more fun anime original cop dramas that aren't propaganda.
That would be nice.
Like, I genuinely, and I know there's a difference between how we as Americans view the political and police system as opposed to Japan. And, like, one of the things that I really, really want to highlight that was actually really kind of a thing that Patrick brought up in our group chat was, like, as much as the show is really good, it's still really flawed in how it views certain things, like immigration.
Yeah. Especially toward the later seasons and movies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a product of its time in some respects, and it's certainly not perfect when it comes
we could
to
also,
about.
like, yeah, there's a lot of things that we could go into that we don't have time for, but overall, I think the dub is really, really good. I think if you're gonna watch it for any reason, I think it should be watched by people who... I'm gonna say this. It should be watched by people who only know Alex Organ for Psycho-Pass, and probably only know Robert McCollum as Reiner in Attack on Titan.
I believe you meant to... I think I know what you were going for there. It's for people who only know Alex Organ as Lloyd Forger.
Yeah. Or... Yeah, okay. I would say as Deckham, but then again, I would also suggest those people watch Death Parade, because it feels like everybody kind of forgot about Death Parade.
Man, there's so many things just from even, like, the past decade ago that don't feel long ago, but it's been way longer than we think it is. Like, for Psycho-Pass, like, the fact that there are new entries for it, it's worth remembering this franchise is, like, a decade old.
Yeah,
now,
and we still just got new stuff
it's
for
crazy.
It.
Which, that in itself is insane to me.
Yeah. Jet?
I'm not sure how I feel about this continuing to be a franchise, but it is almost fascinating that it is still
yeah, it's kind of weird, because, like, I sat here and thought about it. It's like, man, whenever I sit here and think about it, this is like the last big anime original I feel that actually got turned into, like, an actual franchise.
Hey now, Gen's other darling from that thing is still kicking.
Okay, I mean it is, but it came out a year before this did.
Yeah, but it's still going.
It is getting a new thing, which people are
who the fuck
mixed on
that phone? Anyway, Jet, go ahead.
But I'm glad I got the chance to revisit this show. It's still pretty solid. I think it had some pretty good commentary. Not always perfect, but there's a lot of the show that's still relevant in ways that are extremely terrifying. And as far as the dub goes, I enjoyed it a lot. It's really solid effort all across the board. And there really are a lot of elements in terms of, like, collaboration and direction. I do kind of wish we could, like, maybe go back to, but it's kind of a little hard to do under someone's dub schedule, even if we are still generally getting good stuff on the regular. But yeah, this was a pretty nice show to visit, and I'm glad I got to do it with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man. This was fun.
Yep. That or plus does it for us. We are the Dub Talk Podcast. You can find us. Usually, new episodes go up every couple of weeks on a Friday. Usually, and beyond that, you can really find us on all the social medias, your Tumblrs, your Instagrams, the Dying Corpse of Twitter, all those places.
The dying corpse of the civil system.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and new episodes usually go up on YouTube, Podbean, all the places you can find your audio. And if you'd like to support anything we do, you can give us a one-time donation to our Ko-fi, or you can be one of our lovely patrons. And before the ending tonight, just want to give a shout out to our patrons. In the $5 tier, we have Beckett's Weapon Dad, Michelle Tribus, and Victor Maribota. And in the $10 tier, we have Anthony Brown, Carly Lessicow, Cable Soup, Bertolenti, and Taco Anthony. Thanks for your support, guys. We always appreciate it.
Y'all are beautiful people. Thanks for sticking around for all this nonsense.
I apologize for nothing, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
You know what you signed up for.
Alright, so is there anything you find people would like to plug?
Hi, my name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on the Dying Corpse of Twitter at MangaMan9000. And you can also find me on another podcast, Surreal Resolutions Podcast O&A, where I talk about the latest in anime news alongside my buddy Jet here.
Patrick?
Oh, it's me next. Okay. Yeah, I'm Patrick, aka Roots of Justice. You can find me on the Twitter and the Blue Sky at Roots of Justice, mainly retweet cute animal pics, talk general fandom. It's a good time. I do have a blog that I'm trying to keep up with. And I have a Patrick's Cool Thing of the Day.
Ooh, do tell.
So, there's been a lot of good movies and television I've been watching, but as of right now, the writers and actors are both still on strike, so those will take a little bit of a back burner. In the meantime, since this is probably coming out sometime around spooky season, watch Phantom of the Paradise. Just... don't make me beg. Don't make me beg.
Can I make...
I mean, we are hunting dogs, so we could make you
Hey,
beg.
Patrick, can I make your night?
What's that?
Can I make your night?
How so?
Would you like to show me Phantom of the Paradise for the first time when I see you in a week?
We could do that.
Yay, we can have a movie date.
Hey, sounds like a good time. Grab the popcorn.
The less I tell you about it, the better.
The title is already giving enough away.
It's Phantom of the Opera, but a rock opera. It's good.
Oh, that makes it better.
And it's got Paul Williams in it, so...
dope, actually. Alright, fuck it. Thank you. I will check that out.
Yeah, the Muppet Movie guys. The Muppet Movie guy says slurs.
Oh my.
Oh my god. Yeah, sure.
Sure. Megan?
Hi, you can follow me at QueenEra2 on Twitter, and I believe I'm just QueenEra on Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, we can advertise.
We can advertise our Blue Skies, baby.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, look, we got the we got the lifeboats.
I
We might
have
as well
2
use them.
codes if anybody needs one in the comments, and I haven't given them away.
Just don't send
yeah,
them
you can
via
just-
Twitter
it's-
DM.
Twitter. Yeah, you're not the. You'll have to DM. You'll have to email the podcast, and I'll send it to you. But yeah, you can follow me at JessQueenEra on Blue Sky, bsky.social. You know it's me if you see the picture of the Raiko whose head is in a trombone.
It is also ClassySpartan.bsky social. You will see the picture of Tomo Aizawa with the sunglasses on.
Well, the Pokemon who owns the white sedan, you left your lights on.
But yeah, that's what we do. That's what we're about, and that's what we're doing.
Yep.
We're doing our very best and keep on keeping on.
And as for me, you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at DivineNega. Usually, it'll be an image of Musa from Wind with the Wind. So that's all you know, it's me. And beyond that, you can also find me on Surreal Resolutions Podcast O&A, usually just talking about anime news, and beyond that, I write for websites occasionally, and you can also find me on my own blog, The Nerdy Abyss, where I'll usually just be talking about whatever Shonen Jump stuff I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
And
with that, I think it's time to retire.
I can finally hang out the old hat.
But are we going to retire, or are we... Hang on, wait. Are we getting retired, or are we getting turned into goo?
Crap, my crime coefficient's up.
Fuck. Mine's... Oh, I don't even know how it got to 420 Blazing levels. I must have done some real fucked up shit, man.
Oh, sorry, go ahead first.
Mine's up to 69 nice.
Damn it, you took my joke!
Good old
Oh,
psychopath.
no, I read that wrong.
Together.
It's 690. Ah, crap. Nice knowing you guys.
Rip. Alright, I hope my goop is tasty. Good night, everybody.
And I don't.
Otaku on that, Deba.
The civil system is people.